What's going on, fantasy world? It's your boy Soupy, and I'm coming to you with our top 5 sits for week 15. Do not set your lineups until you hear these top 5 sits. Boy, I got some shit cooking. Yeah. What's going on, fantasy world? It's your boy Soupy, and I want to talk to y'all. Before we go over these top 5 starts and top 5 sits, I want to talk to y'all. I want to talk to the people. I want to talk to the fans, whether or not be the haters or whether it be the lovers. But what I do know is even my haters, y'all love me, man. Y'all in there, oh, you are crazy. This, boom, boom, boom. What are you thinking? You suck. You this, you that. Man, you had enough time on your hands to make sure you come on my show and tell me about it. I love it. Regardless if you hate me or you love me, I love it. Let me tell you something, haters. Anybody can come on a show and give you the top 5 receivers in the league and the top 5 running backs in the league and the top 5 quarterbacks each week and say start them. Anybody can do that. Anybody can go look at a list and say, you know what, these are the top 10 guys. These are the guys I'm going to put in my top 5 starts this week. Or go look at the people at the bottom who's supposed to do terrible and say, you know what, these guys are going to be the top 5 sits, knowing that they're horrible. No, I'm going to go find that guy that is a must start, that you must start week in and week out and say, you know what, he shouldn't start this week. You know why? Because this is the situation. So don't be coming on here telling me that I'm such this terrible guy because I lost you your week. Look, you have the power to put who you want in here. I'm here to give you the statistics. I'm here to give you the soup, the ingredients. You can make a well-formed decision on your own, whether or not it been a good one, whether or not it been a bad one. What I'm here to do is help out those people who are looking at their lineups and they like, I got this guy off this week. This guy, who can I get off the waiver wire or who can I have on my bench that would be a good start this week? That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to give you the top 5 guys in the league. I'm not here for that. I'm going to find that top 10 guy and tell you to bench him. I'm going to find that guy that they are ranked 30th in the league and I'm going to have you start him. And he's going to finish top 15 this week because of the matchups and because of the situations. So before you go and you tell me how bad of a pick I made, think about it. Just think about it a little. Give your boy some slack. I'm going to grab guys that wasn't even on the radar telling you to start them and they popping off with good games. I'm that guy that's telling you bench Tyreek Hill this week. And when you bench him, you're like coming back, thanks, Soup. You was right. But it's all good, man. I love the negative. I love the positive. I need it all in order for me to get back in the lab and come back hotter. That's right. The soup is hot this week. Y'all better listen to these top 5 starts and these top 5 sits. I told you so. Our first player that you must sit in week 15 is going to be Devonte Smith. He is going against that tough Pittsburgh defense this week. In the last 3 games, he is averaging 27 yards per game. Did you just not hear what I said? Hurts has been bad through the air as of recent. Pittsburgh is giving up 212 yards per game. They are ahead on that statistic in the NFL. A.J. Brown has been complaining about getting the ball. You know what happened last time that happened? He got about 12, 13 targets, and he had a huge game. Barkley will be a focal point in this game. Also, Jalen Hurts has been getting a lot of tush pushes lately, means a lot less targets for the receivers in the red zone. Hey, man, you heard it from the soup. Devonte Smith, 7 targets, 4 receptions, 63 yards. He's going to be good for 8.3 fantasy points. If you start him, you're going to be sick. Man, you heard it here first. Our number 2 player that needs to be on your bench this week is going to be Tyrone Tracy versus Baltimore. Tyrone Tracy, Baltimore ranked 8th right now versus the running back in giving up points. Baltimore, 3rd highest scoring offense in the league. Tracy gets taken out of the game script in the second half. Utilization should stay high for him in the passing game, however, but he will not find pay dirt. Baltimore giving up 0.8 TDs on the ground this year. That is less than 1 per game. Tracy only rushed for 32 yards versus Dallas. Everybody gashes Dallas. Come on, man. Tyrone Tracy this week, 17 touches, 67 yards. He'll be good for 7.7 fantasy points. Will fall outside the top 20. Man, you heard it from the soup. Woo! Shit is hot in here. Our number 3 player that you must get on your bench this week is going to be Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson faces Philly. Philly right now, defense is strong and secondary got receivers on lock. Russ been hot, but he hasn't faced a secondary like Philadelphia. No Pickens makes his situation even worse. That means no 50-50 balls. Second fewest passing yards given up this year, Philadelphia, 178 yards per game. Ooh. Russ, you got to go against a team giving up 178 yards per game with no George Pickens. This will be a run-heavy game on both sides. I don't care what you say. This is not Russ's week. I always hear, let Russ cook. Man, Russ ass gonna be shook. Russell Wilson, 227 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 1 fumble, 11.7 fantasy points. You heard it from the soup. Find another option. Yeah. And our 4th player that you must get on your bench this week, man. Ooh, I hate to do it because he's a bear, baby. DeAndre Swift. Woo! DeAndre Swift versus Minnesota, ranked 4th against the running back and giving up points in fantasy football this year. Less than 40 yards per game rushing in the last 3 games. Did you just hear what I said? DeAndre Swift in the last 3 games has less than 40 yards per game rushing. He's averaging 15 touches and 0 touchdowns in the last 3 games. Volume is decent, but not where we wanted it to be. Minnesota, number 2 in the league, giving up yards. They're only giving up 87 yards rushing per game. That's it. Lockdown on the run game. In the last 3 games, Minnesota has scored 31 points average. Did you not just hear that stat? They're going to put up 30-plus points is what that's telling me. If they're putting up 30-plus points, where is DeAndre Swift in this game script? They're going to have to pass the ball, pass. Now, DeAndre Swift is a decent pass catcher out the backfield, but he's not going to see pay dirt. Bears will have to pass to stay in this game. Count on Swift playing more as a receiver than a running back. DeAndre Swift in week 15, 16 touches, 59 yards, 8.4 fantasy points. Start Swift, and Tuesday morning, go jump off a cliff. Yeah. Our number 5 player that you have got to get on your bench. Don't set those lineups yet. You got to hear this number 5 guy, DK Metcalf. At the beginning of the season, DK Metcalf was him. Them first 4 games, well, that game 2, 3, and 4, he was putting up 100-plus yards, touchdowns. Looked like the DK that we drafted probably in the 3rd or 4th round. Yes, he did. DK Metcalf, as of the second half of the season, womp, 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 womp. DK Metcalf versus Green Bay, ranked 9th right now versus the receiver. Only 3 games this season out of 13, DK Metcalf has over 4 receptions. Did y'all hear what I just said? 13 games. Out of 13 games, only 3 of those games, he was over 4 receptions. Smith and Jigma, second year, he has 8 of those games over 4 receptions. Did y'all just hear those stats? Smith and Jigma is the number 1 receiver in Seattle. This year, in 13 games, Geno Smith has thrown for 1 TD or less in 11 of those 13. Did y'all just hear what I said? I'm going to say it again. In 13 games this year, Geno Smith has thrown for 1 touchdown or less in 11 games. There's only 2 games that Geno Smith this year has thrown for over 1 touchdown. I'm not betting my fantasy season on DK Metcalf getting a TD in this game. I'm just saying, man. Y'all heard what I just said. In week 15, if you start DK, you gonna have a bad day. 8 targets, 5 receptions, 78 yards, 10.3 fantasy points. It will be a decent day, but not a top 20 day. Get him on your bench. Find another option. You heard it from Soupy. Those are our top 5 sits for week 15. Come check us out on our next episode for our top 5 starts. Then come check us out later on this week after the games are over with, and we're going to go over I Told You So and see how we fared off. Yeah! Come check us out on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. It's your boy Hot Soup, and I'm out.